The Waithari were meticulous archivists, an ancient crystalline species who considered the preservation of knowledge a sacred duty. So when a long-lost human colony beacon flared to life from the Eidolon expanse, they dispatched an expeditionary science vessel within hours. The colony, designated Haven 7, had vanished from records over 300 years ago, presumed destroyed in a solar flare catastrophe. No communication. No survivors. The humans had mourned and moved on. The Waithari, however, knew anomalies never stayed buried forever. The scout ship Luminary Drift exited slipspace on the edge of the system. What they expected to find was a barren rock scorched by radiation. Instead, they found a world glowing with energy, weather systems stable, atmospheric readings near perfect. And in orbit, massive stations of unknown configuration, clearly human in origin, but far beyond current Terran design. Query, how? Whispered Archivist XL, in a chorus of glassy tones. A landing crew descended. What they found would later be described in Waithari records as a moment of existential redefinition. The humans had not only survived, they had transcended. Instead of being destroyed by the flare, the colony had used experimental tech, a prototype shielding system powered by quantum folding engines. When the storm hit, it didn't destroy them. It changed them. Cut off from the rest of humanity, surrounded by chaos, these colonists adapted. Not just biologically, but culturally, technologically, even philosophically. They had become something else. The first contact occurred in a city the Waithari later named Aevum Spire, a towering metropolis built vertically into a mountainside, integrated with natural growth. Buildings grew from living alloys, powered by ambient energy, and designed not for conquest, but for contemplation. The Waithari expected confusion, maybe fear. Instead, the humans greeted them warmly. Tall, calm figures wearing adaptive fabrics, with eyes that shimmered not with emotionless logic, but with peace. They spoke perfect Concordian dialects. They had records. They had memories. They had studied the stars while remaining isolated, and had even sent out signals, knowing full well that someone would come one day. "We wondered when the galaxy would remember us," said Elias Rowan, the colony's current leader. Cell asked the obvious question, "How did you build all this alone?" Rowan smiled. "We weren't alone. We had each other. And necessity." He gestured to a nearby child, floating 6 feet off the ground, calmly rearranging the atoms of a stone into a shimmering crystal with a flick of her hand. The Waithari's processing nodes overloaded temporarily. The humans had developed stable psionics, not as a weapon, as a tool, as an expression of consciousness. Their society no longer relied on money, hierarchy, or even centralized leadership. Every citizen was educated from childhood in ethics, logic, emotion, and creation. Conflict had not disappeared, but it had evolved. Disagreements were solved through shared mindspace simulations. Design choices were voted on through interactive neural consensus webs. Creativity and empathy were measured not by output, but by depth. And yet, they were still recognizably human. Still curious. Still passionate. Still laughing. And still dangerous if provoked. In a chamber beneath the capital, the Waithari were shown something else. The Aegis Protocol. A ship. No, not a ship. A conscious vessel, grown from a fusion of organic crystal and quantum computation, capable of phase shifting across dimensions. The humans hadn't built an empire, they had built a future. "Why hide this?" Cell asked, almost reverently. "Because the galaxy wasn't ready," Elias said. "But now we see it may need us." The revelation shook the Concord. Humans, those brash, energetic beings, considered young and impulsive, had seeded a branch of themselves that evolved beyond imagination. The Council demanded they submit to reintegration. The lost colony refused politely. "You do not integrate a soul," Rowan said in reply. "You invite it to sink." Council fleets arrived. A warning shot was fired, and the stars bent around Haven 7. No weapons, no violence, just a message encoded in gravimetric pulses. "We will not be ruled. We will not be caged. But we will help if you ask." Nicely. The fleets left in silence. Decades later, Haven 7 became a beacon, not of power, but of possibility. A place where diplomats came to learn how to listen, where warlords came to forget the taste of conquest, where species on the brink of extinction found a second wind. And the child who once levitated stone became the galaxy's first interspecies empathy teacher, guiding beings of flesh, gas, metal, and thought into understanding each other. Because the lost humans had not just survived. They had become the heart the galaxy never knew it needed. They were lost, but they had not been broken. They had become something greater.